Hi everyone, friendly neighborhood astrologer Matthew Curry here, doing what once again was supposed to be a Facebook Live video, but Facebook Live just isn't playing along with me lately. And also, you may have noticed I still haven't gotten around to shaving or fixing my lighting. Anyway, I want to talk to you, of course. Happy New Year to everyone. It's a big thing this time of year when people go over the astrology of what's coming up in the next year. I've done a series of that on BeliefNet, but there's something I wanted to talk to you about today that I think is really important, that is very easy to overlook, even when you're looking at the major planetary aspects coming up for the next year. And that's the great good, potentially, that Jupiter in Pisces has to do. And I'm not just referring about to Jupiter in Pisces in general. I am referring to very specifically some of the aspects Jupiter will be making in February through May this year. And I'm going to take a minute to tell you how you can figure out how this will play into your life and what you can do with it to make your life and your world in general a better and happier and more functional place. Because, here's the thing, astrology can get a little too fatalistic sometimes. It's really more like a weather report. Yeah, it's the bad days, weather-wise. I'm Canadian, so naturally, it's the bad days that always stand out in your head. But there are good ones too, and you can plan to take advantage of those. And what I'm referring to specifically with Jupiter in Pisces this year is that, and it just entered a few days ago, it's in the early degrees of Pisces now. And keep in mind that Jupiter in Pisces is a very strong placement because, first of all, Jupiter rules a lot of Pisces associated things like hope and faith and a certain degree of optimism that the universe will work out the way it's supposed to. Jupiter is also the traditional ruler of Pisces, so all else being equal, it's a good strong place for it. But what's really useful here, and if you pay attention to things in the next week or so in your life, this will give you a clue as to how to handle things in February to May, when this Jupiter pile up I'm going to be talking about is happening. And read my astrology forecast this Sunday for the week ahead, because Venus is going to be aspecting a lot of the degrees that I'm going to be talking about here. So what's happening? Starting in February, Jupiter enters Pisces, trucks along through the first 10 degrees or so. And then, and I'm going to put the graphic ephemeris up so you can play along with what I'm looking at here. See that green line at the top corner that comes all the way down? That's Jupiter between now and May. And you'll notice that first of all, it crosses a blue line, that's Uranus. So in the course of 2 or 3 months, we are going to have Jupiter sextile Uranus, which represents to me a chance to kind of break free from all the limitations and horrible crap that have been going on with the world. It's the Saturn-Uranus conjunction, or square rather, that's made everything so god awful. Jupiter sextile Uranus may not sound like a heavyweight, but it's definitely a good time to break free of the conditioning. And by conditioning, I mean, so many of us have done this. Even I've done this to myself, and I've tried to avoid it. The whole, God, what horrible crap. Like today, New Year's Eve, Betty White dies. Like, seriously, it's like 2021 had to give us one last kick in the face before it was out the door. But I'm trying to avoid thinking like that, okay? So anyway, February, March, we have Jupiter sextile Uranus. And then potentially even bigger news is that later on in March and April, transiting Jupiter will be conjunct Pisces. And both those placements will be sextile Pluto. Now, it's the Saturn-Uranus square that's been getting all the press in the last year or so. But Neptune sextile Pluto has been going on for years now. And it doesn't sound that impressive. It kind of lingers in the background and really doesn't make itself heard too often. But I kind of think that for all the utter crap that Saturn square Uranus has put us through, that maybe Neptune sextile Pluto has taken the worst edge off. And I think that March and April are an excellent time to actively and consciously play into that energy. To play into the idea that yes, we can make the world a better place. We can make our lives a better place. We can be better people to each other. Because I think, honest to God, if there's one thing we should have learned from the last 2 years, other than, history, epidemiology, evolution, political science, history, one thing I think we should have learned, maybe more so than anything else, is that if we could just somehow, whoever you are, whatever kind of person you are, if we could all individually just be 10% nicer and more patient and understanding and empathetic with each other, you could make this operation sing. Like, seriously, you wouldn't solve all the world's problems, but by God, you'd get close to a start. And that's something, isn't it? And I think what's happening here during February to May 2022 is that whether we are conscious of it or not, we're going to be presented with opportunities to do just that, to make our worlds a better place for ourselves and each other. And I think that's the real power of astrology, is not just warning you about, oh, such and such is happening next month, so everything's going to suck. Sometimes things suck. I'll admit it. But we tend to ignore the good transits. And we tend to let those opportunities slide. And I don't know about you, but after 2 years of this non-stop crap, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should take advantage of the good times and make them better. Anyway, that's my rant. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you are as well as can be expected under the circumstances. And however well that may be, I hope things get better for you. And you know what? Send me an email. I'll send you a free ebook or something. It's good talking to you. Happy New Year.